Welcome back, Legends. Your support is my power. Don't forget to subscribe.
I was filling up my truck at the gas station when Officer Jake Callahan, a guy I'd known since we were kids sneaking smokes behind the high school gym, pulled me aside. His hand trembled as he slipped a folded piece of paper into my palm, his eyes darting toward my wife, Sarah, who was standing by our SUV, her fingers flying across her phone screen. "Don't head back to your place, Ryan," he muttered, voice low enough to drown in the hum of the gas pump. "Just trust me on this one." I'd never seen Jake rattled before, not even when we got caught joyriding in his dad's pickup senior year. The note burned a hole in my pocket as I watched Sarah's face shift from tense to relaxed the moment Jake's cruiser peeled out of the lot. That smile of hers, I'd seen it before, like the time she claimed she was stuck at the office late, but came home with the faint scent of aftershave that wasn't mine clinging to her sweater. In the car, Sarah sang softly to the radio, acting like everything was fine. My phone vibrated. A text from a blocked number. "Look in your center console. Your wife hid something there." I kept my face neutral. "Babe, can you grab me a napkin?" Sarah asked, her eyes fixed on the road ahead. I popped open the console. 3 Polaroids slipped out, me at the bank, me leaving my office, me loading groceries into the trunk. Each one had a red circle scrawled over my face. 15 years of marriage had taught me to keep my reactions locked down. I didn't flinch. "Got one?" Sarah asked, glancing my way. "Yeah," I handed her a napkin, tucking the photos into my coat pocket. "Hey, I need to swing by Nate's place," I said. "His Wi-Fi's acting up again." "Now?" Sarah raised an eyebrow. "It's almost 9. Tech emergencies don't wait, you know how it goes." She shrugged, that cool detachment I'd come to despise settling over her face. She dropped me off at Nate's duplex, nestled near the edge of the forest. I leaned in to kiss her cheek, tasting the bitterness of her lies. Nate wasn't home, exactly as I'd hoped. I'd kept his spare key since helping him move in last year. Inside, I unfolded Jake's note. "The people in your house aren't on your side. They're watching you. Check your home network. Call 207 to 555 to 192 after midnight." As a freelance cybersecurity consultant, I always carried my laptop. I logged into our home system, my fingers moving fast. The security cameras had been offline since Monday, but there was a new device on the network, a hidden camera, not the brand we used. Someone was spying on me. At 12:01, I dialed the number. It rang once before a woman's voice, familiar but warped, answered. "Ryan, who's this?" "Someone who knows what Sarah's up to. Check Ethan Marshall's aquarium tomorrow. You'll see the truth." The line went dead. Ethan Marshall, Sarah's life coach, had been guiding her to self-discovery for months. The guy drove a flashy Corvette he couldn't possibly afford and wore rings that screamed midlife crisis. I'd met him a couple of times, and both times he looked at Sarah like she was his next conquest. My phone lit up with Sarah's social media post. "So thankful for my incredible circle. Grateful new chapter." The photo showed her with 3 coworkers in what looked like our living room, posted minutes ago. 4 wine glasses sat on the coffee table, but she'd texted me she was turning in early. In the TV's reflection, I spotted a man's arm, green jacket. Ethan always wore green. The next morning, I parked 2 streets away from Ethan's condo complex, a rundown place where secrets went to hide. His Corvette was parked out front, license plate reading LIFEWINR. I'd done tech work here before and knew the building's cameras were busted. The superintendent, who owed me for recovering his stolen tablet, let me in without a fuss. Ethan's door had a digital lock. I exploited a flaw I'd flagged to the manufacturer last year, one they never fixed, and was inside in 3 minutes. The apartment smelled like cheap candles and ambition. Inspirational quotes plastered the walls. "Seize your destiny," and "Champions don't quit." A massive aquarium glowed in the living room, tropical fish darting through neon-lit water. Tucked behind it, barely visible, was a tiny wireless camera wired to a concealed hard drive. I hooked up my portable screen. The drive held folders labeled with names, dozens of them, half the town's elite. Sarah's folder had over 60 videos. The most recent from yesterday showed our bedroom. Sarah and Ethan laughing about my attempt to surprise her with a weekend getaway for our anniversary. "He thought I'd be impressed," she sneered. 15 years and he's still clueless. "After next week you won't have to fake it anymore," Ethan said, brushing her hair back. "Lisa's cousin works at the courthouse. The restraining order's a done deal. Just get him to snap. The photos will push him over the edge," Sarah replied. "Make him look obsessed." I copied the files to multiple drives. The other folders held enough dirt to ruin marriages, careers, and reputations across town. Ethan wasn't just a life coach, he was a professional extortionist. My phone buzzed. "Sarah, where are you? Nate said you left early. Client crisis." "Home for dinner," I texted back. I headed to the police station. Jake was at the front desk, his face tightening when he saw me. "You read my note. Why'd you tip me off?" He led me outside, away from prying ears. "Sarah's friend Lisa, her husband's my brother-in-law." Overheard them at a cookout, talking about setting you up, making sure you couldn't contest the divorce. I showed him a single frame from Ethan's files, nothing explicit, just incriminating enough. There's more. A lot more. His eyes widened. Is that the mayor's wife? And others. I just want what's mine, Jake, no collateral damage. Be careful. Lisa's got people everywhere. Her cousin's a lawyer, her uncle runs the credit union, her sister's at the clinic. This town's tighter than you think. That night I walked into our house like nothing was wrong. Sarah was in the kitchen cooking my favorite pasta dish, a rare move that screamed guilt or strategy. Smells amazing, I said, pecking her cheek. She flinched just barely. Thought I'd do something special, she said, her smile as artificial as the candles on the table. You've been so busy. Dinner was a masterclass in deception. She asked about my day. I spun tailies about fake clients. She laughed at my jokes, a sound I hadn't heard in months. After the meal, she poured wine. To us, she toasted, her eyes locked on mine. I don't drink much during the week, I said. Come on, loosen up. She filled my glass to the brim. I faked a sip, then accidentally spilled it while reaching for the pepper. Damn, my bad. I mopped it up, noticing a faint white powder in the glass, subtle but there. I swapped it with a clean one when she turned away. Want another? She offered, too quick. Nah, head's pounding. Gonna crash early. Her lips tightened, but she nodded. In our bedroom, I pretended to work while monitoring the home network. At 9:52, the hidden camera flipped on. Through my earbuds, I heard Sarah's voice from the living room. He didn't drink it. Doesn't matter, Ethan replied. Plan B's ready. Lisa's got the witness statement lined up. Says she saw him tailing you Monday. But he wasn't even in town. Truth doesn't matter. It's what we can sell. I recorded every word. The next morning, Sarah left for her real estate office earlier than usual, which wasn't her style. I called my top client, said I was sick, then parked across from her office at a diner with a clear view of the third-floor windows. At noon, Sarah, Lisa, two coworkers, Karen and Jess, and Lisa's cousin, a lawyer named Paul, gathered in the conference room. Papers were spread out, Paul pointing at specific sections while Sarah signed. I texted Jake, there at her office, setting me up. It's happening now. Need cause to move, Ryan. Got anything solid? Check your email. I sent 3 clips from Ethan's drive, carefully chosen to show their scheming without dragging others down. His reply came fast. Holy hell, stay where you are. But I was already moving. The office building's security was laughable. I'd upgraded their system years ago and kept a backdoor access code after they shorted my invoice. I slipped in through the loading dock, took the service stairs to the 2nd floor, and found the utility hallway behind the offices. The conference room's vent connected to a storage closet. I could hear everything. Protective orders set, Paul was saying. We just need the incident. What incident? Sarah asked. The one we're staging today, Jess said. My brother-in-law runs the security firm. He'll say he saw Ryan harass you in the lot. Cameras conveniently glitched. But he's in Portland, Sarah said. No, he's at the diner across the street, Lisa cut in. Karen spotted his truck. This is better. When he shows up, we call it in instant stalker. I recorded it all, then texted Jake. They're framing me. Cops are coming. Get out. I'm on it. Sirens were already closing in. I bolted for the roof, using the master key I'd swiped from the maintenance closet. The rooftop gave me a view of the street below, Sarah playing the terrified victim, Lisa comforting her, cop cars pulling up. Jake arrived, arguing with 2 younger officers. My phone buzzed. Another unknown number, storage shed behind the building. Blue door, hurry. I had no better plan. I took the fire escape down, hidden from the street, and sprinted to the shed. The door was open. Inside sat Ellen Whitaker, the district attorney's wife, late 50s, sharp as a blade, and apparently one of Ethan's blackmail targets. Ryan, she said, calm as if we were at a coffee shop. We've got about 2 minutes before they check here. I know what Sarah's up to. Ethan tried the same game with me. She handed me a USB drive. This has Ethan's unedited files. Sarah's been at this for 9 months. She's not just after you, she's setting up Ethan too. Why help me? Ethan recorded me and my husband, thought he could control us. My husband's no saint, but he's mine. And Sarah. She got sloppy roping in Lisa, who's been dipping into the community center's charity funds. I've been waiting to bury them both. Sirens grew louder. What's my move? You disappear. Let them think they're winning. Tonight, there's a town meeting about the new retail project. Sarah and her crew will be there, pitching their firm. That's when you strike. How do you know all this? She smirked. Ethan wasn't the only one with cameras. Go. Back exit through the trees. Nate's waiting with his truck 3 blocks east. She was right. Nate's pickup was idling exactly where she said. Ryan, what the hell's going on? He asked as I climbed in. Drive. I'll fill you in. We headed to Nate's fishing cabin, an hour out of town. No signal, no neighbors. I spent the day digging through Ellen's files. Sarah had been siphoning money for months, small transfers to accounts in her sister's name. She'd taken out 2 life insurance policies on me, one dated just before my uncle passed, leaving me his tech business and $150,000 in savings. Her support during my grief now made sense. The town meeting was at 7 p.m. Nate dropped me at the public library. A camera-free zone thanks to Mrs. Patel, the librarian who treated privacy like a sacred vow. I used the library's computers to upload the files to secure clouds and set up timed emails. If anything happened to me, the local news would get the story by dawn. I called Vicky, the motel clerk who owed me for fixing her security system. "Need a favor," I said. "Name it, hun. After you saved my bacon with that hack, I owe you big. At 7:50 tonight, get this video played on the town hall's big screen." I sent her a file, Sarah and Ethan's plot, edited for maximum impact without crossing legal lines. "Sweetheart, this is juicy," Vicky said. "My nephew's on the AV crew, it's done." At 6:50, I slipped into the town hall through a side door. The place was packed, 250 people debating the retail project. Sarah sat up front with Lisa, Corinne, and Jess, folders ready for their pitch. Ethan lounged a few rows back, sporting a bruised cheek from a gym accident. I took a seat in the shadows, cap low. Sarah took the stage at 7:20, all polish and poise. "Good evening. I'm representing Harbor Properties, and we're thrilled about this project's potential for growth and prosperity." She was a natural, charming the crowd with talk of jobs and community benefits. At 7:40, questions opened. I stood, "I've got one." Head swiveled, Sarah's face drained of color. "Ryan, you can't be here, there's a protective." "No, there isn't," I said, stepping forward, hands out. "Judge Whittaker tossed it this afternoon. Evidence was flimsy." Lisa's cousin shot up. "This is harassment, call the police." "They're here," Jake said, stepping in with 2 state troopers. "Got a tip about fraud, thought we'd sit in." "This is absurd," Sarah snapped. "He's been following me." "Funny you mention that." I held up my phone. "Let's hear what Lisa has to say about it." I played the closet recording, Lisa's voice clear as day. "The protective order's ready, we just need the incident. Jess's brother-in-law will say he saw Ryan threaten you. Cameras glitched naturally. The crowd murmured. Jess's brother-in-law sank in his seat. "That's manipulated," Lisa yelled. "He faked it." "Really?" "There's video too." I nodded to the AV booth. "Vicky?" The screen flared to life. Sarah and Ethan in his condo, the aquarium camera catching every word. "After next week you're free, just get him to lose it." Gasps filled the room. Someone shouted, "Is that Ethan Marshall?" "He's not her husband," another voice called. Sarah tried to bolt, but the aisle was clogged. Ethan stood, yelling, "This is illegal. You broke into my place?" "Actually," Ellen Whittaker said, rising from the front row, "the property owner authorized a security sweep after reports of unauthorized recordings." "Right, Mr. Novick?" The landlord, a burly guy in a flannel, nodded. "Damn right, no creeps spying in my buildings." Lisa's cousin sputtered, "This won't hold up in court." "Maybe not," I said, "but this isn't court. It's public opinion." The screen shifted to Ethan's laptop, folders labeled with prominent names, Whittaker, Thompson, Reynolds, the town's secrets cataloged. "Turn it off!" Ethan lunged for the booth, but Nate blocked him, sending him stumbling. I kept going. "Here's the best part, Sarah discussing my insurance policies if something happens to him post-divorce." The troopers moved in. Sarah grabbed the mic. "He's lying, he's always been unhinged, he attacked me." "When?" I asked, calm as ice. "Last month, I was at a cybersecurity summit in Boston, got video, receipts, and 60 witnesses." Her jaw worked silently. "Let's talk about last month," I continued. "You pulled $4,000 from our savings, claiming it was for your dad's surgery. Your dad's been gone 4 years. The crowd roared. Sarah snapped. "You ruined everything. We were fine until you got that inheritance." There it was, the truth. "We were never fine," I said. "You just hit it better." I turned to the audience. "Check your inboxes tomorrow. If Ethan recorded you, you'll get a heads up. All files go to the state police." Ethan made a break for the door, but a group of dock workers blocked him. "Where you headed, coach?" one taunted. "Thought you were all about owning your truth." Chaos erupted, Sarah yelling at Lisa, Lisa blaming Jess sobbing about her brother-in-law's role. Ethan was bargaining with anyone who'd listen. I slipped out with Jake. "They'll come for you legally," he warned. "With what?" "Sarah's accounts are locked, Ellen saw to that. Ethan's facing lawsuits from half the town. Lisa's looking at fraud charges for the community center." "What's your next step?" I glanced back at the hall, still buzzing with outrage. "Portland, new job, new life." And Sarah, she got her freedom. And all the consequences that come with it. 2 weeks later, I was boxing up my things when Sarah showed up, looking like she hadn't slept in days. Her car was gone, replaced by a friend's beat-up sedan. "I lost it all," she said. "You didn't lose it, you threw it away. I loved you. You loved the idea of my uncle's money, not me." She hesitated. "Ethan's gone, skipped town with whatever he had left. Good for him, Lisa." Facing charges. "Everyone's turned on me. You built that cage yourself." She lingered, maybe expecting a lifeline. I didn't offer one. "Was any of it real?" she asked. "The first year, maybe. Before you decided I wasn't enough." She left without another word. Nate helped me load the truck. Ellen had hooked me up with a cybersecurity firm in Portland, better pay, clean work. Blowing up a blackmail ring looked good on paper. Sure about leaving? Nate asked. This town's toxic now. No urge to twist the knife? I glanced at my wedding band left on the counter. Revenge is like a bad bet. Win or lose, you're still stuck at the table. I'm done playing. We laughed, packed the last box, and I drove out. Passing the motel, Vicky waved. The gym was shuttered, the town hall still reeling from the scandal. My phone pinged at the city limits. Another unknown number Sarah's expecting. Figured you'd want to know. Ellen, I did the math, not mine. I deleted the message, blocked the number, and kept driving. Portland's skyline glowed as I arrived, the sun dipping low. My new place was bare but mine, no ghosts in the walls. The firm started me Monday, straightforward work securing networks instead of dismantling lives. That night, eating pizza on the floor, I laughed, deep, real laughter. Sarah spent 9 months weaving her perfect scheme. I unraveled it in days with nothing but truth and a borrowed screen. Jake called later. Ethan got nabbed running the same hustle in Vermont. Sarah's begging for cash. Lisa's husband filed for divorce and Jess was skimming from the realty firm. It's a mess, not my mess anymore. You played it smart, Ryan. Most would have gone nuclear. Going nuclear's easy. Building something new, that's the real win. I hung up, looked around my empty apartment and grinned. Tomorrow I'd get a couch. Maybe a small aquarium just for the fish. No cameras, though, never cameras. Outside, Portland pulsed with life. New city, new chances. Sarah wanted me erased, wanted my money, wanted everything but me. She got nothing. I got a clean slate. Staring out the window, my reflection looked back worn but not defeated. Older but not cynical. Sarah bet on my failure. She lost to my survival.